What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with another video. Yes, 2 days in a row I have a video that is not a podcast. You can say that your boy is on a roll. But anyway, let's get into it. So we all know that Sony is dominating right now as far as sales goes with the PlayStation 4. Right now, Sony is sitting at around 65, some even say up to 70 million PlayStation 4s shipped. That means the Best Buys, the Walmarts, the Targets, the Toys R Us, the GameStops are selling enough PlayStation 4s and buying and requesting more shipment that Sony has had to ship that much. So they are dominating right now. You know, the closest to them is the Xbox One, which I think is around 28 to 30, somewhere like that. So that means Sony is selling somewhere between 2 to 1 or 2.5 to 1 to the Xbox One. So yes, Sony is dominating, but the Nintendo Switch is the most popular platform right now as far as talk and as far as hype and as far as appeal. I would say that the Switch is sitting at the top of that throne, and it's interesting that it's interesting because when you see lines, and the reason I'm stopping because I was getting distracted, but when you see lines, especially in Japan, where folks are waiting in line, 3,000 to 4,000 people waiting in line just to win the opportunity to buy a Switch, that's pretty big. That's pretty nice. And the Switch answers and addresses a long-wanted ideal from gamers. Not all gamers, but a lot of gamers. I'm starting to learn that they really did want this. The ability to take what they're playing on the TV on the go. Meaning, I don't have to be restricted to sitting on the couch in front of my TV. If I want to continue to experience this game, I can literally take my Switch with me and continue playing the exact same game, the exact same quality on the go. It is a brilliant idea. Some of us didn't believe this is what Nintendo would do, but they did it and they are successful, right? So they are the popular new kid on the block, even though Sony is the dominant platform with the PlayStation 4, the dominating company with the PlayStation 4. Nintendo still got an upper hill to climb to catch up with Sony. But if you're a Sony, and we know how Sony is, Sony is going to have something to address the success of the Switch. Now, we saw the patents that were supposedly leaked right before the announcement or after the announcement, somewhere around the announcement of the Switch. But there's another company that I just saw, and it interests me and intrigued me to talk about this, called Curve Labs. They are a famous company that does detailed concept designs, right? So they have recently designed a device that they are saying is based off of the rumored ideas that are being shot around by Sony, with a new device that is supposedly coming from Sony now, and it's called the PlayMan. Now, hopefully I got a video of this while I'm talking. If I don't have a video, I would definitely have some photos or some pictures that you can look at and see the concept, but I would rather have the video. I don't know which one I'm gonna get because I'm just talking right now. But this is supposed to be a concept of rumored happening going on at Sony to address the Switch. It's pretty sleek. It's pretty nice looking. I don't know if it's I don't know how it's gonna work, far as if it feels good or anything like that. But just looking at it, it looks nice. Now the question is, for some, is this true? I think that's the wrong question. Now, this might not be what it actually looks like. Like I said, this is just a concept that they believe that they're working on. Maybe even to pitch to be the ones who design whatever Sony is working on, because the question isn't if Sony is working on something. The question is, when is it coming? Let me say it again. The question is not if. The question is when. You need to get past the if. Sony is going to have a Switch-like device. Now, is it a wise move? That's some stuff we can debate on because Sony has a lot of devices out right now. They have the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 Pro, more PlayStation VR, and now they're about to, what I believe, it ain't no if, they're about to make a PlayStation Switch-like device. They cannot allow Nintendo to have dominance in this space because honestly, Nintendo has carved out its own lane that allows it to exist on its own. It doesn't have to compete with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One directly because Nintendo has kind of merged home and house and created a whole new lane for itself. So the question is, when is Sony going to mimic the Switch? When are we going to hear about it? It's not if, it's when. Now, Sony just announced that they're going to have a big press conference. They're announcing this pretty early. And that they're going to have a press conference at the Tokyo show in Japan. And this is abnormal because to announce this early means you've got something that you want to show that you want us to be mindful of to tune in. Now, I also heard about Super Metal Days predicting that Sony has a big announcement that's going to affect the Switch. Now, of course, I believe this is probably what Super Metal Dave was talking about. That it's probably going to be a Switch-like device because he said then Nintendo will have an announcement that'll counter Sony's announcement. Now, my thing is this. It's inevitable that Sony has got something that's going to address the Switch. Will it beat the Switch? That is yet to be determined because we haven't seen what Sony has up its sleeves. But you best believe it's something coming. The concept art didn't show up for no reason. The patent concept didn't show up for no reason. Sony has a proclivity to copy Nintendo all the time. You look at the Wii remotes, Sony came out with the Move. You look at the Wii U, Sony tried to make the Vita mimic what the Wii U was doing, even though they was kind of doing it before the Wii U, but they really started playing close emphasis or selling the point that the Vita can do what the Wii U and the gamepad is doing. You know, after that was announced, Sony really started putting a lot of marketing behind that concept. So it's going to happen, folks. But this is the caveat that Nintendo has if Sony decides to do this. And this is why I feel like they need to go ahead and end the 3DS. If Nintendo is only focusing on this one device, they have the up. They will have the up on Sony having to focus on a plethora of devices. If Nintendo only has the Switch as a gaming device, that gives them the edge. We're going to talk about this on the podcast tonight. But hopefully I have the video from Curve Labs and the concept of the PlayMan that is supposed to be the portable PlayStation Switch-like device, a concept design that they're probably pitching at Sony so that they can design the device that Sony is rumored and I believe is working on. But this is your boy Leveled Head. I'm just kind of putting things together. Let me know what you think, and I will get at you later on tonight. Till then, deuces.